Welcome back. This is Caroline. I'm turning 19 tomorrow and I cherish birthdays. It's not all about the fancy birthday cakes or going out shopping for expensive things. It's because I get to reflect on myself a little more as self awareness. This year has become more special than ever because I never thought that I would be sitting down and recording podcast episodes. I know podcasts very recently, and my voice is one of the things that I'm most insecure about. And now that I have my own podcast channel, I'll be reflecting on myself and exposing myself with you. I've said that I'm going to be allowing submissions for journal prompts and I'm going to read them out to you guys here, right? It has already started, but this week is a little bit rushy because I didn't plan this topic to be a journal prompt, and I'm sorry if some of you that are interested in writing miss out this one, but it's okay. You can always come to me to talk about the topics I've discussed, and if you don't want to miss out updated news about me and my podcast channel, follow me on Instagram. My link tree is attached in the main description. I also have a Facebook page for Burmese listeners. Just search up Wonder with Caroline. You'll see my poses and page, but if you're from other countries, don't follow me there because I'll be writing almost everything in Burmese language, and you know automatic translation sucks, right? So you'll never understand 100% of what I'm going to say. So if you're from Myanmar, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, but if you're from other countries, follow me on Instagram only. Like I've said just now, I'm going to reflect on myself with the journal prompt I've created called My Gifts and My Curses. We all know that none of us are perfect. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and I believe that there's no one who's not good at anything or who's bad at everything. Those who are successful and the ones who are able to create their dreams to reality faster than most people are the ones who knows how to use them well. The reason why I named this journal prompt My Gifts and My Curses is because our strengths are like gifts. They allow us to accomplish our tasks and jobs. They are the factors of our productivity, our happiness, and the good relationship with our loved ones. The same goes with weaknesses and curses. Our weaknesses are the things that stop us from succeeding. They are the reason why our work delay and we have unfinished tasks. They are responsible for the problems that happen between us and our loved ones. That's why I call them curses. But don't worry, you can always break the curses by changing yourself. You can work on them to be a better person, to be more productive, and to have a better relationship with the people you socialize with. And that's why I'm going to share my gifts and my curses with you, so that I could upgrade myself for a better version of me. So let's do it. My first weakness is that I can't do teamwork. Does that sound weird? I hope not. I just can't work in groups, but I don't think I was born with this curse. I think I was conditioned to be like this because I still remember the time back in Singapore where me and my classmates have to do a lot of group works and projects. And I was never the one to hate all those things. So I think I was conditioned to be like this. My parents are traditional and they don't like us hanging out with our friends. So I think I was conditioned to be like this. But it's also because of the way I see things in life. If my groupmate's energy level doesn't match up with mine, I automatically stop contributing my ideas to the team. Like, for example, if I'm the one talking and everyone seems lazy and uninterested, I want to stop doing the group project. And if I'm the leader of a group and I'm the person who's doing most of the stuff, I want to stop the group project. And there's also one thing I've learned about working in groups. Don't work with your closest friends because you're going to make yourself tired if you're a naturally serious person and the other people are not like you. So I do everything solo because I feel like you need to do a lot of talking if there's group work. So if I want to write an awareness post, I do it alone. If there's a fundraising campaign, I do it solo. Sometimes it's tiring, but I'm satisfied and happy with the results. But I'll consider it as a weakness because I need to be involved in more group activities again. Because someday I'm going to be working in a place with other people. I'm not going to be alone and I'm going to be surrounded by a group of colleagues. So I'll consider it as a weakness. The second one is a little bit embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you anyways. I can't follow rules, instructions, and formulas. It's a little bit complicated and weird to understand, but I know I'm not the only one. And I think it has been with me ever since childhood, but I wasn't aware of it until last year. Why I say this is because I remember the time where I had to learn origami in class, and we are supposed to fold a origami crane, but I was struggling with it, and my Chinese Japanese friend helped me. I used to think that he did it better than me because he was half Japanese and origami is originated from Japan, right? So I thought that it's because I'm Burmese and I suck at origami, but no, it's not like that. I just can't work with formulas and instructions. And if I draw a timetable, it's just a piece of paper for me. I don't know how to work with timetables also. If I do a to read list, I read the other books that I want. I don't follow the to read list also. I also suck at crocheting because I have to learn a new pattern for the whole day. It's not because I don't pay attention to the instructions and tutorials. I just don't get it. I just don't get the patterns, and that's why it takes a whole day for me to get a new pattern. There's also this one time where I did a writing challenge. I took a writing challenge from Pinterest, and I didn't follow the topics and the days. I switched the topics and the day. I skipped them, and I do whatever I want because I don't like formulas and instructions. So that would be one of my weaknesses. My next and final weakness is that I can't work again after taking a break. If I were supposed to write or plan something, I have to finish it in one sitting, or else it will be undone forever because I lose the inspiration for it already. And because of that weakness, I complete my work with full satisfaction, but I overwork myself and I get burned out most of the time. Like, if I took a day to finish a novella, I have to recharge myself for the next 2 days because I get burned out. Those are my three main weaknesses, and we'll move on to the good things. The first good thing about me is that I'm bilingual, so I can speak both Burmese and English fluently. But because of that, I still can't decide whether I should write in Burmese or in English in the future. Like, I still can't decide whether I should be a Burmese author or an English writer, or both. I love both languages, but I still have like a few things I need to improve in both of the languages. And I think I have to work really hard if I want to write in both languages. But I think I'll find a way in the future. So, yeah, I'm bilingual and I'm kind of proud, but I'm also afraid of it because I still don't know what to do. My next strength is that I'm creative. It's easy for me to express my feelings, my thoughts, and my dreams through writing. And because of that creativity and interest, it's easy for me to learn literature too. I've always have wide eyes for creative writing and essays, and maybe that's why I scored 80 for my English in matriculation examinations. My third strength is that I give the best advices. People think I'm wise. I actually am, but I don't like it because I always think rationally and I'm too realistic. And my friends always come to me whenever they have doubt, like, hey, do you think I should do this? Or hey, do you think I should say that to that person? And I tell them the pros and cons of what they're going to do and let them decide on their own because I don't want to be the cause of anything. So, yeah, that is the good qualities of me that I remember. Okay, since I've finished talking about my gifts and my curses, I'm going to move on to the submissions. Of course, I'll not be revealing any names here because of privacy, and there's one more thing. Most of the submissions are from Facebook, and I didn't tell them to write in English only or Burmese only because I want them to be able to express themselves fully with the language they prefer. And most of the submissions are in Burmese, so I have to translate them myself. And if I have any mistakes with the translations or if I translate it wrongly, I'm very sorry because this is my first time translating. The first one says, I don't think I have any gifts. My weakness is that I feel bad to say no. For example, if someone is friendly, I treat them like a close friend. And if something bad happens between us, They bested me by exposing my darkest secrets. That's when their true colors come out, and I hate myself for not turning people down. I still say yes when someone asks me a favor. My next weakness is I can't let go of people easily. I still hold on to those that hurt me. Geesh, I know this girl, like she's one of my closest friends. What are you talking about? You don't think you have any gifts? Like, you're the only person I know that have your shit together. You manage your household chores and your work and your studies all together. They're all balanced. And that's one of the gifts that you have and you don't realize it. But I'm pointing it out to you now, so realize it now. Your weakness of not being able to turn people down. Like, I feel you because it's hard to turn down people, right? Like, to say no. But if they're toxic and they're asking you a favor that you can't help out, just say no. Just reject them. Or else you will tire yourself. You won't be able to help them fully. So just say no and don't hold on to those that hurt you. Let go of them because they're toxic. Okay? The next one is short but it's on point, so I like it. For me, I think it's about being selfish, both the good and the bad. Because it's like self love from my point of view, but it's not so good for others because I don't think too much about them. Yeah, I feel you because sometimes when I distance myself from others to give myself self love, I feel selfish and I ask myself things like, is it good to be selfish? Is it good to be alone? But I see things in life as a ruler. Like, think of a ruler. The middle point is zero, and if you go to the right hand side, it's positive, and if you go to the left hand side, it's negative. And I always stay in the middle because it's the best position. It gives the least expectations to the people around you, and it's the most happiest place to be in. So, like, don't give yourself too much self love because it could be selfish, but also don't stay without giving yourself self love because self love is needed for everyone. So, stay in the middle. As long as you're in the middle, you're totally fine. Don't see yourself as a selfish person. It's okay to give yourself a little self love because you need it. Give yourself a little self love. The next one says, I think my gift would be different from others. Some people could have the same gift as me, but there's only a few of us. My gift is not about being excellent in something, it's about being optimistic. I see myself as an optimistic person. When someone criticizes me badly or hates me, I don't see them as treating me wrong. I don't keep them in mind. I don't have many strengths, but I think this can be one because it's hard to always think positively about people. It's not always easy to see everyone with positive minds. My weakness would be being careless. Just look at what happened just now. I read your post carefully with full interest, but I sent the text message to your personal account. Yeah, it's you. Why I think this is a weakness is because it's funny sometimes, but it causes a lot of problems when it comes to serious things like work and assignments. That's all. Thank you for reading and also pre-happy birthday. I hope you'll have a lovely birthday. Thank you for wishing me a pre-happy birthday. Yeah, I remember you. You were the one who sent the submission to the wrong account. It's not always easy to see everyone with positive minds because people get on your nerves, and if you deal with them badly, you'll lose them and your friendship. Yeah, you're right. That's a gift. That's a real gift. About being careless. I used to be careless all the time. I used to make lots of mistakes in assignments and math problems. I can never get a math problem right on the first go because I was careless. But don't worry a lot because it can be fixed. So I guess that's it. We'll move on to the next one. My strength is that I can do the things I want by learning it once. That's a real gift My weakness would be not getting angry easily. And I found out that people lose respect because they begin to think that I won't get angry for whatever they do. I'm not mad at them, but I'm upset with people taking advantage of me. And if it happens too often, I walk away from them. I tell myself that it's better to let go even though you love them, because they'll continue to take you for granted, and that's why I feel like I'm losing a lot of things. So that's it. Yes, you're right. You're so right. Why are you guys so pure? Don't you guys get angry when someone treat you wrongly? How could you be not angry about it? You guys are so pure. Oh, and that's a really good trait. You're being healthy and green for the environment, but it hurts you, doesn't it? Because people take you for granted. If it hurts you like too much, just let go of them because they're toxic and they don't deserve you. And you don't deserve to be mistreated by them, you know? So don't let anyone do that to you. And you're right. I'm going to read it again. If it happens too often, I walk away from them. I tell myself that it's better to let go, even though you love them, because they'll continue to take you for granted. Let go of the toxic things. Don't feel sorry or don't regret it. Like, you guys are so pure. I love you, even though they don't. So, yeah. Don't let anyone take you for granted. Okay? The next one's my laziness would be my curse. I didn't get the things I deserve because I was lazy. The improvements I should have made get slower. And I didn't finish the things I should have because I was lazy. The positive thing about me would be being a good listener. When someone opens up to me, I listen to them carefully. I'm also good at keeping my words. Whenever it's a favor for someone or self-development activity, I accomplish them as promised. Oh, there's more curses of me. I'm impatient and gets angry easily when someone don't understand what I'm trying to say. Or when someone isn't on time for a date or a meeting. And because of that, people distance them from me and we're not as close as we used to. But I'm not sad because there's no one to get on my nerves anymore. Yes, that's what I was trying to talk about just now. Like, if someone is toxic to you, leave them or cancel them from your friend list. Why are you wasting your time with them when you could be spending your time with your loved ones? Don't lose the good listener quality in you because the world needs more people like you. Like, everybody's depressed and we all need a listener who can understand what we're saying. The next one says, I think I have a lot of self-improvement this year before my birthday too. I felt the change. I didn't have a lot of friends back in high school, and I feel hesitant to start a conversation. But I'm not like that anymore. Now I can speak with every person in the room. I don't feel weird to start a conversation. I'm more sociable. I don't feel insecure about my face or clothes when I'm talking. I dare to look into people's eye more than before. And I'm living every day with the thought that I'm going to do my best. But my weakness would be doing something without good preparation. I'm always like, oh well, I can handle this assignment in time. I can work at the last minute. And I came across problems one after another when I'm actually working at the 11th hour. I don't like that habit of mine. And I'm trying my best to get rid of that habit. But I find myself at the same situation every time. Girl, I fail you. Let's talk about the self-improvement part. It's good. I like you because you felt the change. You noticed the change between you and your personality. It's good. And it's good to be social label because it's really useful. It's good to notice the change because you're aware of yourself and your personalities and the things you need to work on and stuff. Like you notice those and they will help you. That realization will help you become a better person. So keep up the good work. And about rushing things at the last minute, yes, I feel you because I'm that kind of person. I do things at the last hour. It's because I don't have a timetable. I can't work with a timetable, and I don't think I ever will. Ugh, like sometimes I hate myself because I can't work with timetables when other people can. If you find a solution to that problem, please tell me because I need that too. The next two submissions are the comments under my Facebook post. They wrote them like a list, so you can write them however you want. Like there's no rules to this journal prompt. And the first one is my gifts, being humble, kind, and grounded. And my curses, having too low confidence, having too much anxiety, can't able to stop thinking everyone hates me, even my own family and friends when they're literally doing nothing. I like your gifts. I've seen friends who are narcissistic and they're not humble or grounded. They can't fix their mistakes when someone else is pointing out to them. They're narcissistic. They think that whatever they do is correct. So being humble and grounded are really good qualities. And low confidence can be worked on, so don't worry. Don't think that everyone hates you. There are at least 3 people who loves you. Let's think of your family members as a person. The first person is your family, and the next person is the friend who will always share everything, ups and downs in life, and good times and the bad times. And the third person is also a friend, but is the one who doesn't talk much about you, who doesn't communicate a lot with you, but would be the first one to come to you whenever something bad happens. There are at least 3 people who loves you. So don't think that everyone hates you. I believe that there are at least 3 people who love you. So please don't think like that because you're hurting yourself. The next one says, after a lot of thinking, my strengths are being considerate, humble, satisfied with what I have, but I'll try harder to achieve what I want, perfectionist, etc. Weakness is lazy, master procrastinator, pushover, and more. That's all I can think of right now. Like what I've said before, it's good to be humble because you're going to improve if you're humble. And being considerate is also a gift because you understand everyone and you think of everyone before doing something right. So it's also a good thing. I'm also lazy and a master procrastinator. So I think I have an idea for a podcast episode. Maybe I should talk more about productivity and how to be more productive to achieve your dreams and goals. Okay, so I'm going to do a podcast episode on productivity for you guys someday, and I hope it will help you out in the future. Thank you for sharing your weaknesses and strengths with me. The next one is pretty long, and when I wrote it down on a book so that I could look at it for translating, it took 2.5 pages of my exercise book. So I'm going to read it now. I have more than 2 or 3 weaknesses, but I'm going to tell you the main ones only. I feel bad to refuse favors. Every Burmese people feel bad to do so, but I slowly realize that it affects me. That's why I don't see it as a gift, I see it as my first great weakness. And then number 2, being polite and rude at the same time. Most times I didn't do it on purpose, but my words hurt the other people unintentionally. I'm trying to change that with all the ways that I can, because this weakness is not going to help me at work or in social life. It doesn't sound kind. But the good thing about the weakness is that I can use it against the person I hate to feel bad about themselves. The cute gift about me is that I'm a good listener who can listen patiently when someone's opening up to me. I might not be able to give good advices, but I want to hear someone's difficulties and the heavy things that sits in his chest. I want to be someone that can be trusted. If I'm stressed, I open up to someone that is a trustworthy stranger. So I want to be in others' shoes and help them too. This is my first strength. And number two, my second strength is I get angry easily, but I calm down easily too. Just like that, I don't hold a grudge against anyone. The main point is that it's the best not to remember the things that are going to waste your time. To be honest, the second strength is not my gift. It's a strength that I have to work on. I have to work on it. Because of this strength, it's really helpful for an emotional person like me. I'll include this as a gift of mine. Thank you so much for writing this long. You really put effort and time to reflect on yourself. I like it when you said that I have more than 2 or 3 weaknesses, but I'm going to tell you the main ones only. Yes, we have more than 2 or 3 weaknesses, but we need to know which are the ones that are stopping us from succeeding, which are the ones that are keeping us from success. Yeah, like you said, every Burmese people feel bad to say no. Yes, it's also a good and bad trait of us, right? It's good for the person who asks the favor, but it's not good for the person who have to do the favor. I think I've read a book about how to say no and how to decline when you don't want to help them. I'll reread the book for you guys and I'll talk about it in an episode. I'll help you get rid of that. What I've discovered from this journal prompt is that most of us feel bad to say no and we're all good listeners. And because of this journal prompt, it's like I find a piece of me in all of you. And another thing I've discovered is that we humans focus more on our weaknesses than on the things that we are good in. And maybe that's why we are not achieving what we should have. It's the human nature. We're all attracted to the bad things more than the good things. But don't stop yourself from doing self-improvement and don't feel bad for having those weaknesses. You can always work on yourself to be a better person. I hope this podcast episode and this journal prompt help you a little bit in self-development. You guys already know your gifts and your curses, so now you know the things that you should work on and the things that you should get rid of. You are going to be a better person by the end of this year. That's all for today. I hope you'll have a great week ahead.